channel. Now, I've heard a lot of comments in the forums and in the comment section of videos talking about LePera seats for the new series of Royal Enfield Classics and Bullets with the UCE engine. Now, LePera used to make a seat designated for the old iron barrels. They do not make a seat specifically designated for the UCE engine, but their solo seats should work. And as you know, I prefer the Royal Enfield low seat, but a lot of you prefer the spring seats and you would like to get a LePera seat for your Royal Enfield. Well, today we're going to answer the question of if it will mount. Alright, now LePera's seats, they contain usually a sticker, okay, the mounting hardware for the spring seat, the solo seat, okay, and the seat itself. This is the Buddy Boy model. It is a nice design there. Your springs would go here, and your mounting bracket here, okay. I like the shape of this seat. It seems pretty comfortable. It has a rise in the back to keep you from sliding backward, and it has a nice shape to it. Alright, here in a moment we're going to go out and we're going to see just how it mounts. Alright, the first step is going to be to remove the seat. Now I have the low seat installed. It's just going to be removing a bolt on each side, and then it has a hook that goes under one of the parts for the mounts on the frame. Okay, if you had your spring seat, the stock seat, you would still remove these two bolts to remove the springs, one on each side, and you would need to retain the washers for those, and you would need a bolt about in the center to remove that whole assembly. Alright, let's go ahead and remove the seat and see what we're working with. Once your seat is removed, you will see the bracket where the stock spring seat goes, and also where the low seat hooks underneath, and here's where the pillion seat attaches. The bracket that came with the LePera seat is here. It is a universal bracket. It did not come with a swivel. You can find one for like $6 on eBay. That's where I got this one. I'll be putting the swivel here onto the LePera bracket. In order for us to get this bracket on here, I did have to swap out the stock washers underneath the bolts to hold on the fuel tank. If you have a 2013 and earlier, you're going to have a different mounting system for the tank. It's going to mount down here on some tabs, and you're not going to have this bracket, and it will not be in the way. But here, we are going to, as you can see, that would hit, and it wouldn't allow it to go further. We're going to drill a hole in the center here, and we're going to use a bolt and a nut to hold down our swivel. Alright, let's go ahead and take care of that now. Once you have your hole drilled, you're ready to install your swivel. Once you have your swivel installed, you're ready to go ahead and install your seat. Okay, make sure you retained your washers from the springs. It's very important. Once you have it attached here in the swivel, your mounting bracket, and you have your bracket attached to the two pegs in the seat, okay, now is the time to make final adjustments, sliding back and forth until you find the seating position that you're happy with. Once your seat is in the position that you're happy with, forward and back, now it's time to connect the springs. Now I rotated the springs to where they are on the inside. I just turn them 180 degrees whenever I transfer them over from the stock seat. Okay, and we're going to put our beveled washer, one on each side, on the inside, just like that, on the inside of the spring. We're going to tighten everything down on both sides. Now you've got your seat installed and you've got all your sweat wiped up off of it because it's hot, unless you're in an area that's not hot. Then you are completed. Everything is in place. She is ready to go. And we are ready to clean up our hands with one of the famous big wipes. Before we get too far into the video, I'd like to take a second to talk about an excellent company. It is the Old Dominion Pipe Company. Now, the Old Dominion Pipe Company makes corncob pipes and clay pipes from the Victorian era in the same style. Now this is the Venus, and what makes the Venus unique is it is actually cast out of an original bronze mold from 1900. That is an awesome pipe. Let's go ahead and open it up and take a look. There we go. As you can see here, it is an excellent, excellent detailed piece. Also included was a case with their distribution company on it, tobaccopipes.com. Now I'll leave a link in the description below to this company and you can check them out. I'd like to take a minute to talk about the differences between the LePera Buddy Boy seat and the stock seat. Now this is the stock seat from my C5. This was on fieldy. I've recovered it with some alligator kind of print there. I did that early on. The stock seat, the mounting bracket is actually more towards the center of the seat, as you can see here. So you don't really get the full effects of the springs, and it's not as comfortable. Plus it has a rubber bushing in there that keeps it from flexing back and forth here, so it's not exactly on a bracket that swivels itself, as you can see there. Now with the Buddy Boy seat, the bracket is to the front, and you actually get more use out of the springs with the Buddy Boy seat, or any LePera seat for that matter, the solo spring seats, that is. So you get more out of the springs. You can feel more of a cushioned ride. The springs actually flex to their full potential without hitting. They don't bottom out or anything, but you get better action out of the springs. Not only that, but the Buddy Boy seat in specific is a bit lower than the stock C5 seat. So you're going to get a lower ride, and plus when your weight gets put on it, it's going to lower it a little bit more for those of us that are a little shorter and aren't quite as tall. Alright, let's take a detailed look at the Buddy Boy seat. The contour is very nice on the seat, and as I was saying before, your pivot point is here as opposed to toward the center with the stock seat, and it doesn't have a rubber baffle or bushing that keeps it from pivoting. It could move as it wishes, so you get more action out of those springs there. Okay, the material is top notch. They've got almost 50 years in the business. I love the shape of the Buddy Boy seat. It has this concaved area, keeps you from slipping off. And as I was saying, I mean, you get a lot more action, and it's softer than the stock seat. I mean, look at that. If the stock seat was like this to begin with, I never would have taken it off. There you have it, guys. To answer the question, will the LePera seats work with the modern UCE infields? They absolutely will. There you have it. A hole drilled and a swivel, and there you have it. You're gliding on pure comfort. I cannot express how comfortable this seat is, the seating position, and you can always move it back or forward, so you can adjust your seating position according to you. Alright, I'd like to give a personal special thanks to Christine LePera for sending this to me to try on my C5 and let Fieldy enjoy it, and to show you guys that it is possible. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, and since you're down there, you might as well subscribe. Alright, see you in the next video, guys.